Everyone. This is Dr. Hank speaking, and I welcome you to this just amazing process that's going to take you, raise you to a whole new level of understanding what magnificent creators you are, how brilliant you are, how just awesome that you are. For you to know that who I am is basically this process that you're going through has been a time-proven process. It plays out every time to help people have million-dollar businesses, to be happy, to have better relationships. People have overcome cancer with this. So it applies to everyone. We mainly have real estate agents on right now, but we also have some insurance people on. We have doTERRA people on, essential oils. And so just know I'll typically be talking more as far as real estate if I give some specific examples, but know that it'll still apply to you what I have. That I'm kind and loving energy, here to help you to become your greatest possibility. That this live webinar, I would recommend that you attend it every time that we meet. And just for logistics purposes, that we are going to not go next week. We will not. Next Tuesday, I'm going to be out of town, so we will not meet next Tuesday, but we will meet every other Tuesday for 4 consecutive more weeks. So we'll actually end on November 14th. And what I'd like you to do, so in essence, we're going to have 5 sessions. We're not meeting next week, but we're going to be together for 6 weeks, a total of 6 weeks. And what I'd ask you to do is just open up your mind to the ideas and the things that I share with you. That I've channeled these ideas. This is coming directly from source energy, God. And again, you're going to hear me use different words too. So I'd ask for you to just relax your beliefs and know that my only intention is to help you become your greatest possibility. And know that this works every time, that every time it will help you to be, do, and have more. In fact, I've already heard from one of you where it already has done more, and we haven't started. And I love that. That's fun. And the reason why, how that happened is the person was filling out their assessment. They then figured, hey, I'll look up Dr. Hank under the YouTube. And so this was Saturday night, and she stayed up till 2 o'clock in the morning watching YouTube things, my YouTube channel. And she says, I'm so excited. When I started filling out the questionnaire Saturday night, I stayed up till 2 watching your videos on YouTube, forgot how awesomely positive you are. I fell asleep with $1 million producing mindset. And so one of the things I want you to do is get out a pad of paper and pen, pencil, and I want you to write down certain things. That is, certain words come that, and I'll share with you which ones, but if you hear something that you want to write down, write it down. But think about that. I want all of us to have $1 million mindset, $1 million producing mindset. And so she goes on. The next day, out of the blue, a new community home called me and asked me for my email to send me addendum for my commissions. So these things, you're going to start seeing things come out of the blue. In this case, that this person got $7,500 in a $250,000 home she didn't even know she was involved with. And so she then states that I'm so happy to reach out to you, and this timing is absolutely perfect. And know for every one of you that the timing is right now. This is the perfect timing for you to really start having more, being more, and doing more. As you thrive, so everyone else around you will thrive. And I want you to also let people around you know, that your loved ones, people you work with, whatever, that I want that let them know that you're going through this process, because you, in essence, are going to start changing, because I'm going to help start changing your thoughts. Most of us think about what we don't want, and I'm going to help you to start thinking about what you do want. And that's going to birth these new ideas and take you to a whole new level where you have been before. I was talking with someone late last night, actually, and she's just a dear woman, and we have people around the country calling in on this call, and about 100 of us are on the phone. And this dear woman that then she said, gee, and I'm really working on getting positive thoughts. And then when we were getting off the phone, she said, well, those relatives don't bother me, that I'll be able to do it. And so we both laughed, and she realized that, she was talking about what she didn't want, the relatives bothering her. So you have to think, whatever you focus, so write this down. Whatever I focus my attention on expands, it gets better, it comes to me. So I want you to start thinking about focusing your attention on only the things that you do want, that you do love, that you like. Thinking about your dreams and having those dreams. Your dreams are going to start coming true. And again, people that have been through this process have created $1 million businesses where they didn't have hardly anything before. They've overcome cancer, that literally you have the power. And so all things are possible with God. And so I'm going to share with you how you connect with God, that I sometimes call source energy or the universe, but whatever name you want, that you're going to connect, and then you're going to start connecting, and God's going to start delivering all the things that you want, because of the powerful you that you are, because of this mind that you have. So these are exciting, exciting things. And here's what I want you to get out of this, that think that you're going to be able to now align with the power of your being. So think about how powerful that statement is, that you're going to align with the power of your being, that you're going to have the clarity of your intentions. You're going to be clear with your intentions. You're going to know the purpose of your existence. You're going to understand the worthiness for that which is you, and for you to understand how worthy you are. Oprah had said that, if you're born, if you had the power to be born, that you're worthy. And in fact, that it is so. And now all things that you have been asking for will be allowed to show themselves to you. And again, as you hear some of these powerful thoughts, that I want you to be able to just, write those down and start internalizing them, and just get lost in these thoughts as I start sharing this with you. And so yeah, lots of you guys are saying hello, and hello all. Again, we have about 100 people on here, and so we got a great, fantastic, and more people are coming. So this is going to help you to discover the secret to creating a thriving life and business. You have been asking, and this is your answer, part of your answer. I'm part of the equation, if you will, to help you. That, we've been told, ask and you shall receive. But probably you've been sitting there saying, hey, I've been asking, and where's my stuff? Well, I'm going to help you with that. We're in these weeks together that I'm going to nourish you and fill your minds and your hearts with this good, beautiful thoughts on just really how magnificent you are, and then the steps for you to be able to easily ask and then receive what you want. And again, this idea about that the things that you have been asking for will be allowed to show themselves to you. Everything you've asked for is here right now, but it's just not here in your checking account, or it's just not here with the person in the bed next to you, or it's just not here with your health, but it is here in energy form, and you will see how to take it out of energy form and be able to experience it. So again, I've been doing this for over 20 years. This process I developed through meditation and early in the morning, as Christ would go out early in the morning, so I would go out early in the morning and just soak up this information. And so this is the information to be shared with you under this perfect timing now. So let's move to our agenda. And we're going to look at 4 areas that we think in, and 3 of those areas aren't very good for our benefit. In fact, they are resistant thoughts, and they keep us away from what we want. We're going to look at desire sheet. And so I had asked you, I sent you out today where you would print out your desire sheet and print 2 of those. If you didn't, no problem. Just get a pad of paper and a pencil, and we'll go through it. But you're going to have 2 desires, and you're going to write down and start being focused on what and why you want these desires. So one's going to be about business, one's going to be about personal, and you're going to see you're going to either achieve that goal within the next 6 weeks, or you're going to be rapidly moving towards it and having more and more fun things happening for you. We're going to also talk about the magic bullet, what I call the magic bullet, and this is a very practical way of how you can be with other people. See, other people, without other people, none of us get our desires. And so to think about that, wow, how can I connect with other people in order to really be able to build a relationship with them and then build my business with that. And then we're going to look at the mother of all creation, and it's something that I'm going to want you to do every morning, that you are the creator of your experience. You are the creator of your life. You are the one that needs to ask. God will then deliver it to you, and then all you have to do is allow it in, and then it'll be within your experience. So we'll look at that, and you'll have just some simple exercises every day that I'm going to ask you to do. And that first one, the mother of all creation, that you'll see, it's the joy shot. And it's where that you're going to stand in joy. The more that you can stand in joy, the more of everything that you wanted is going to come your way. So let's talk a little about these thoughts and your thoughts. And so in the past 5 years, that neuroscientists, quantum physicists, molecular biologists, they've all agreed that there's 3 steps to creation. And so 3 steps, in other words, to your experience. And so what they said, and they kind of got it right, they just forgot about God, and so I include God in there, and we'll do that in a few weeks from now. But the key here is that the first step, which is absolutely accurate, that the first step to creating anything you want, so to have more business, to have better relationships, better health, whatever that may be, is that your thought initiates all matter into form. And again, this has been proven scientifically, but it also, I know that it is the truth as far as step 1, that you have to do the asking. And so your asking and your thought is what in the Bible it refers to as your prayer. So your prayer isn't when you're on your hands and knees and you're on your knees, your hands folded, your head bowed, or it's not when you're in church. It's all the time when you're awake, in your waking hour. That's your prayer. And so you want to, and this is going to awaken you, literally all of you, that you're going to become enlightened, that your mind is going to go to your higher self, and you're going to be able to start thinking and receiving these godly thoughts, and it's going to warm your heart. And so your hearts are going to be open. Right now, many of your hearts, and I can feel that, they're that, and so I have that intuitive, wonderful ability to be able to, tell about other people and what's going on. And so what many of us have had or have right now, where our hearts are in bondage, that we said, hey, I'm going to protect my heart, nobody's getting in, and you'll see that nobody can hurt you, and that you are the only allower to allow people to hurt you, if you will, that people can say whatever they want to, but for you to realize just what a magnificent creator you are. So you're going to expand your imagination, you're going to expand your creativity, and you're going to become more enlightened, and you're going to have an open heart. And again, I want you to start writing these things down. I'm channeling this especially for you. This is coming from, God's mouth out to, into my mind, out to you. And so, be writing that, yes, that's what I want. And I'm becoming enlightened. I'm becoming more creative. I'm awakening to the magnificence of who I am. And so it all starts with your thought, and I'm going to help you to actually discipline your thought. And the reason why the Dr. Hank comes in is because the doctor is my PhD is in mental science. And so what I do is I help people to think in a way to be able to have their dreams come true. And so most of us think about what we don't want, what we don't like. And so we talk about Las Vegas, and we talk about, the bad storms, and we talk about whatever, the bad deal that went south. And the more that you talk about that stuff, the more that you're going to get away from it. Those things you can't control. So here's one point that I would write down, that if you have a thought where you can't control those circumstances, let go of that thought. It's not going to do you any good. And in fact, if it doesn't do you any good, all the people around you, it does no good. So think only about the things that you do want. Think about the things that you like. So think about the ability to, we just heard about this one person out of the blue, and write that down. Out of the blue. You're going to start having things come to you out of the blue. We've already had one person come and have $7,500 come to them out of the blue. And it's all because they were feeling good. And so you're going to hear, again, some things that you've never heard before, you've never understood about life, because basically we were taught they had good intentions. But, our parents, so I'll give you an example. We were told, don't talk to strangers. Well, hell, if none of us would talk to strangers, we wouldn't be sitting here on this webinar. You wouldn't be with your spouse or whatever. You wouldn't have your children, because, it all comes from strangers, if you will, or most of it comes from strangers, right? And then what's the worst that can happen? They give you candy, all this other made-up stuff on that, just it isn't applicable, and you can't do the exception. What you do is you're the creator of your life. Nothing comes to you by default, if you will. Nothing comes to you if you don't invite it in. And so now you want to use your thought to start inviting the things that you do want. Now, in step 2, they say that scientists have all agreed that in step 2, this thought creates energy. So your thought creates energy, and that energy that we call, with that for us, is our emotions. And so I want you to care most about how you feel. So write down, I care most about how I feel, and I want to feel good. It is as simple as that. We can actually say goodbye now, and we don't have to go to any more sessions. That all you need to do is feel good, and that's the answer. That's the answer to all of life. But we're going to go into some detail, because right now you don't believe that, because you've been told I got to work hard, I'm not supposed to talk to strangers, and I'm supposed to be guarded, and I'm supposed to watch news. Like, stop. And the other thing is, I want you to stop watching news. So if you're watching any news, stop it. It doesn't do you any good. They have searched the world over for bad stuff, and the bad stuff is just simply things that we don't want. And we need that contrast in this world to birth what we do want. If we just were everything okay all the time, if you will, then, and we need to contrast the things that we didn't want, that it would be impossible for us to expand our imagination and to understand what we do want. So this is all just a beautiful, beautiful world, a beautiful contrast, and that you are this magnificent creator, and brilliant creator that can create the experience that you want by going through that contrast. So all of us have been through the contrast of things we don't want, and we want to bless it all now. Your upbringing, bless it. That, car accidents, whatever that may be, bless it all. And as you bless that all, and then ask for, what do I want? So let me just back up on that and to be clear on how this plays out. That as you're going through life, when you see something that you don't like, I want you to mentally point at it, or you can even use a finger and point at it, and just say, that's what I don't want. Then I want you to turn the cheek. Like when Christ said turn the cheek, I thought like, well, I get slapped by my abusive father as a child, so I just turn my cheek and he can slap my other cheek. Well, that's not what Christ meant. What Christ meant is that when you observe something, some contrast of what you don't want, turn the other cheek. In other words, ask them to say, that's what I don't want, and ask, what do I want? And that will guide you right into birthing new ideas so that you can have a fuller, more loving, more abundant experience and life in your life. And as you do, as you thrive, all people thrive. So this thought creates energy, and it's your emotions. So I want you to really be aware of what your emotions are. And so the third step now, so your first step of all creation is your thought. So it's you and you think it. That thought then sends an emotion, and we'll get more more into this, but basically that emotion is like a signal out to God, and God receives it and responds instantly. That's why all your prayers have been answered. But what you haven't been doing is you haven't allowed it, you haven't believed it, you haven't expected it, and we'll get into that later. But know that then the step 3, according to the scientists, is that then this energy creates matter, so thoughts become things. And that's how powerful each one of you are. So Albert Einstein said, thoughts create matter, and this is not psychology, which, by the way, I'm also a behavioral psychologist and a mental scientist, but he says this is physics. In other words, thoughts create matter, so you create your experience. And you may say, oh no, but I had a bad upbringing, or no, it wasn't my fault, that everything that is you have actually attracted. And so whatever you focus your attention on grows. And the good news is that you're sitting in a place right now, and within this short hour that we're together, that you're sitting in this place where you're going to be able to start moving your attention from the things you don't want to moving your attention to what you do want, and that will grow in your life. More money, more business, more referrals, more happiness, more joy, more laughter. Like, did you wake up this morning and did you say to yourself, you know what, I want to laugh more today? And again, I'd write that down. That, yeah, what do I want? That'll be one of your things you'll do in the morning, is write down what you want. I want to laugh more today. I want to smile more today. I want to enjoy more today. And the more that you can just ease up. So another great thing to just think about is, I am going to lighten up. Okay, quit thinking all this stuff is a big deal. Lighten up. You're here to enjoy this marvelous experience, this beautiful world, this thing we call life, and you're here to have it the way that you want it. You're here to have your dreams come true. And again, this process will help you, guaranteed, within 6 weeks, and probably some of you within the next 2 minutes, that you're going to start having more and more of your dreams come true. Now, I'm going to look at the 4 different areas of thought. And so if you want to, I would actually draw 4 boxes on a big sheet of paper. There's stuff we're going to write in there. But it's just a great way to understand on how that there are, in essence, 4 areas of thought, and that you want to be able to be aware of that and then know where you want to direct your thought. So the first area is thinking about what I do want, and I'm thinking about it in a non-deliberate way. So I'm not thinking about it. In fact, this is called the red zone, and it's where I'm reactive. I'm looking at what is, and then I respond. So I'm in let's say a listing meeting, or I'm in a doTERRA meeting, offering these oils, and then all of a sudden that meeting isn't going very well, and it's going south on you, and you're kind of like, oh my gosh, and so it's too late. The energy is already moving to going south, and most likely it's too late. And that's because we weren't deliberate in our thinking and how we wanted that meeting to go. So from now on, when you have a listing presentation, when you have any presentation, when you go anywhere, when you go out on a date, whatever it is, that you start saying to yourself before it happens, because otherwise you're just going to be reactive and you're going to get life by default. And life by default is no fun. That, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, and I'm sharing with you, it's going to be all wanted things in your life, even though you're going to run into and you're going to rub up against things you don't like. And so that's that contrast, but you want to, again, bless that, because that helps you to birth, what do I want? And so it's kind of like thinking in this red zone is, if you're in an airplane and you're a parachutist, and so you decide, okay, jump, and you jump out of the plane, and all of a sudden you think, oh, darn, I forgot just one thing, just one thing when I jumped out of that plane. And so I asked for laughter, and here we are laughing, right? That what is that one thing? Oh, I forgot my parachute. And so just hang on, and it'll be over soon. And so that's how we are with life, right? We just, run in, and so just kind of like bumper cars, running into stuff. And now we're not saying, hey, I want this bumper car to go here and to be able to do that. And so the bottom line, it decreases our success and it increases our stress. So I'm sure you can all relate to living in that world at times. There's also when I'm doing things of what I don't want, and I do that non-deliberately. And so this is another red zone. It's busy work. So, I wake up Saturday morning, hey, I'm going to clean out the closet. Well, I get up, I have some coffee, I go on the phone, look at Facebook, then I turn on the TV, and pretty soon it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I haven't done that at all. And so it's just doing busy work. So we're going to talk about through this process high payoff activities. In fact, I'm with a group that they just invested $100,000 for this coach, and this coach was talking about these very things that I'm sharing with you. And so literally, you're getting the cutting edge. This is the best training that there is, and it's training that is never done in schools for the children, and we've never had before. And so many people say, gosh, if I just would have known about this 20 years ago. And I say to that, just be happy you know it now, and that you can really live your life now, the fullest life that you have wanted. And it's almost like a so what attitude in this red zone decreases your success, increases your stress. And so, and one last example of that you have a hot prospect, and then you have a client that's already a client, and they're going to buy, they're going to buy the home or buy the oils or whatever it is, doesn't matter. And then you decide, what, instead of calling that prospect for more business, I'm going to call this person that's a client already. Well, that's really kind of busy work, and it's really not going to build your business, not going to, take you to your dreams and desires. So now we're going to go to the bottom right-hand zone, and this is where you're being deliberate now, but you're deliberately thinking about what you don't want, and this is called the red zone. And this is what I refer to as committee members, and these committee members are in your head. And just imagine there's this beautiful mahogany table in front of you, and there's these beautiful executive chairs around that table, and then you have these committee members, and again, it's within your head, and it typically is thinking about what was, like what happened before, the past, or making up the dreaded future on what might happen if, this happened, if I go to a concert and somebody opens up fire or whatever. It's not going to open up fire on you. You're not going to have anything that happens bad. You control it, but when we start thinking about those things, about the past, the dreaded past, or the horrible future that we're having, or thinking that our current situation is terrible, your current situation, wherever you is, it's just awesome. It's just that you don't realize that it's awesome as you're focused on the things that you don't want. It might be bad health, might be whatever, but you have to, like I was in involved in a major car accident. And, I was permanently declared by the Veterans Administration, a Vietnam veteran, that I was declared permanent last August, permanently handicapped, permanently homebound. And, and I said, I'm not taking that. I'm not going to believe the doctor, what the doctor has to say. That I believe in me, and that I know that I have a power, and that I can use, and I can leverage God. I can use the energy that creates worlds, and I can be able to leverage that in order to create good health. And so now, once in a while, my left leg kind of goes numb. Who cares? I just focus on my right leg, and I'm off and having a great time. And so, I'm traveling the world and doing all kinds of things. And going to Fort Lauderdale next week, and was, in Hollywood, and last week, and gosh, I've been to so many places this year, and, Ireland and Dubai and Egypt, it's just all kinds of fun things. But the point there is that, who are you going to believe? Well, you just believe yourself on what you want and what your dreams are, and I want you to really get focused now. And just take a pause here. Breathe in, and then breathe out. And your breath, it's the quickest way for you to connect with God. In the Bible, that spirit, the word spirit, actually means breath. And so it's 5 seconds in and 5 seconds out. So that's 10 seconds, right? So 6 deep breaths every minute. So I want you to think about breathing. I asked a lady who had just joined me, in fact, and with some things that I'm doing, and she, I asked her, so tell me, 4 years ago you took this process, what did you really, retain on and how it's happened? And she goes, oh, it changed my life, I said, cool, what's, the number one thing? And she goes, well, it taught me how to breathe. And so if that's the one, it's awesome, because this breathing, it's important for you to breathe. And so when you're in situations, just breathe, take your time. It's not a big hurry. You don't have to go through drive-through already. Smell all the time, just smell the flowers. Enjoy more. Enjoy the ride. When you're in traffic, just look at the sky. I saw beautiful, that's what I do, that I pay attention to traffic. But, when I'm at the stop sign, I'm looking also, these beautiful, the sun was setting and these waves of light were coming out from the clouds. And there was a chapel there, a steeple. And it was just magnificent. And so here I am sitting in a stoplight just loving, the essence of the moment, where a bunch of people are beeping at each other and everything. And, there's no need to be that. Slow down. Take it easy. Walk with God. Breathe deeply. So back to this red zone. That was a good little break there. So the committee members, so you got all these committees, and it's about what I don't want, and you're intentionally thinking about it. I was talking to someone yesterday, and they said, hey, I was up till 4 o'clock in the morning, then I had to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and because, my head was just going. I was just going and going and going. And have you ever had that happen? Well, here's what you do, is you call in your sleep angels. And so you're going to see, I'm going to teach you that, hey, there are angels. They're here for you. There's energy for you. And I'm going to get real practical with referral partners and everything. But you're going to have your head in the clouds and your feet on the ground. And that's the way to live this perfect life, and to just be able to enjoy the beautiful moments that we have. And so, so again, you ask for your sleep angels to come, and then you ask them to come into every one of your cells and to, first of all, drop a little drop of love in every one of your cells, and then after that, love to drop a little sleepy in the cells. And that we were just giggling away as we were talking about this last night, and and the lady was talking. Said, oh my gosh, I just love that. And yeah, and this is about, on how to start thinking differently about your life, slowing down, enjoying the ride. And see, there's no happy ending without a happy journey. And so for you to be happy every moment, that's how to have a happy journey. And so the bottom line is that this committee members, it decreases our success, increases our stress. And so now we look at the green zone, and where we want to go. And that is where we're thinking about what we do want, and we're deliberately thinking about what we do want. And so if you look at those 3 red zones, probably you're engaged most in this committee members, with the committee members going on and not liking this, judging people. That's why Christ said, do not judge. There's nothing to judge. That's just in your own belief system. And the other thing is, when people are yelling at you, pointing a finger at you, like, go ahead and point a finger out at the wall or whatever, and look how many fingers are pointing back to you. That the fact is, when people are abusive to you, or yelling at you, don't like you, whatever, it's their problem, okay? It's their issue that they're judging, and that really there is no need for judgment. Everything is just great, and everybody is doing the best job that they can. So back to this green zone, this is where I become this deliberate creator. We're all creators, but usually we get life by default, and we're sitting over here, or we're creating this miserable life of ours of saying, oh, the world is bad or whatever. The world is just great, and really I'm almost at the point where you should probably get off of Facebook, or people that are always being negative, at least just unfriend them, because it doesn't do you any good. And, just be with happy people. And so if anything, connect with me on Facebook, and I'm under Hank, and then Cites, C-I-T-Z, and that you'll see every day. I have different posts that because it's all happy, that everything is happy, but you have to be able to really embrace this, and this process will help you do that. And so in that green zone, you'll also be reaching for good feeling thoughts. So one of the things I want you to write down is, I now reach and find better feeling thoughts. Oh, I love that. So what do I want? I want better feeling thoughts. In fact, I have a book about that I've written, about 7, 8 books, and just one where it was given received the Quilly Award for top selling book on the happiest man in the world. But on this other book, on this good feeling thoughts, that is every day to 7 good feeling thoughts. 7 is spiritual number, and so it just uplifts people. And so I have people that just read that and have increased, like their real estate business, that they were doing about 6 homes a year, and now they're in the top, I guess he's in about the top 80 now agents in the United States. And it's all about being able to do that. So you are the inviter, and so you invite everything into your life. And so now when you're deliberate and thinking about what you do want, you're the inviter of what you want. And to be thinking about what will be. So I want you to start getting your dream machines. A lot of our dream machines have been broken. I want you to oil it up and get it going and start dreaming. And that most people don't like dreams, and don't like it. They have desires out there, goals, or whatever people will call them, and they don't like it because they've had it before and they didn't reach them, and so they got disappointed. That I want you just to go into what people call Dr. Hank's La La Land, and I just want you to start dreaming about how great it is to be in to have this wealth, to have passive income, to be traveling, to be happy, having laughter, having children around you, being out in nature, whatever those things are that you dream of, just dream. And if you continue to dream that way, it's only possible to have your dreams come true. Amen. And bottom line in this green zone is it increases your success and decreases your stress. So now this is a time for you to make a decision. That you have a decision. Do you want to live in the green zone now, or do you want to continue to live in the red zones? And so we're going to be talking from here on out for the next 6 weeks. Again, we don't meet next week, but in 2 weeks we meet. And that's when we'll go over the assessment that you did or are going to hopefully do. I sent you that information. If you didn't get it, please email that, because that's going to be a rocking session in 2 weeks too. But that we're going to just be talking from here on out on how to live in the green zone. So if you don't want to live in the green zone, you can get off right now. But I want you to say to yourself, and even scream it out loud, I want to live in the green zone. Go ahead, say it. I want to live in the green zone. Yeah. And so you will be living in the green zone with this amazing process. So the first step that I want you to do is get out your desire sheet. And we're going to look at 2 desires. One is a professional goal, what you desire, what you want. And some people say, oh, you shouldn't say what I want. And And no, you should. You want to start. See, your mother brought you up that way, saying, "Oh, you shouldn't want things. You should be thinking about somebody else." Well, it's impossible to think or feel for anybody else. So give that up. And another thing to write down is, I no longer honor the God, a small g, the God of other people's opinion. It doesn't matter. That forget their opinion. The only opinion is your and God's opinion on anything. And the way that you know if you have God's opinion is if you feel good when you think about whatever subject you're thinking about. And what I just said there is profound. Like, you have a communication system with God, always have, always will. And that communication system isn't in English, isn't in Spanish, not going to be some words like the movies come out and do it, that it's as easy as this, that your good feelings, your feelings, and when you feel good, means that you're thinking about this the way that God is. When you feel bad, that you're not thinking about this the way God is. So when you're mad at another person, God's not mad at that other person, no matter what they've done. And I know you're going to give me a long list of why you justify you on why you can be mad at them. The fact is to just be gentle and kind, and to look and to realize that they're made in the image and likeness of God too. And that includes your exes. Some of the exes just came into my mind. So that includes your exes as well. So under your business desire sheet, again, if you don't have that, basically what I want you to do is write down, I want, and whatever that is. And so I want to, for real estate agents, I want to close 3 homes per month. I had an agent that just attracted a $2 million deal, and gosh, I don't know how many she's actually on right now, but I think it's like 9 listings. She's just on fire, and she's feeling good. And she just left all that stuff, and the past and all the whatever, and the parents, and all that stuff. She left all that and said, "Hey, this is my life, and that they're all okay, but I'm going to be way better by me going and just being happy and feeling good." So it might be that. It might be to allow a certain amount of money in. And so how much money do you want to allow in? And then it might be, even a softer way of, hey, I want to serve people. And that's great. That's awesome. As long as you're not serving them so that you be light. And so there's a little edge on that you want to make sure that you're good. And then you want to go out and serve people. I know some people that help people so much, it ends up negatively affecting their business, their relationships with their family, etc. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself first, and then you take care of others. And then maybe, like attract 3 listings, again for agents, but for, anybody, for whatever your profession is, that I want you to write that down. Now, because of time, that you're going to actually do this assignment later, so I do want you to write down what you want, but then I also want you to write down why you want it. I don't want you to write down the action steps on how to get it, because that's God's work, and we'll get more into that. But basically, the how to do stuff is God's work. You just think about what you want and why you want it, and that's profound also. And so you want to write that down, that, hey, my work is what and why. God's work is the how, or who, when, and where. Okay? And now I want you to go to your second sheet. And again, that you'll can work on later on tonight or whatever. You have 2 weeks to do these simple success assignments. On the second desire sheet, again, if you don't have it, just write down, I want, and whatever you want in your personal life. So identify something. It might be a family and your home, the relationship, how you want to start creating really harmony and just love and precious moments, to create precious and memorable moments. That, for your health, I don't want you to write down, I want to lose 20 pounds. You're focusing on pounds, and what will happen is you'll lose the 20, and then you'll gain 25, and you'll be up 5. And how many times has that happened to you? And you can laugh and everything, and stop bad-mouthing yourself. Today, I just knew a lady that, I just knew she was telling herself every day, oh, I'm fat, and I think she was saying I'm fat and ugly. And nobody's fat and nobody's ugly. You're beautiful just the way you are. Just enjoy yourself, appreciate yourself, your heart beating, all your systems are working, the functions of your body. It's just amazing. We have so much going on that's happening that we can, thank God and be in a state of appreciation and gratitude. But, we want to go complain because we've been taught that way and we think that way and we think about, oh, this isn't going right, or, I didn't get this yet. And whenever you say, oh, I didn't get my goal yet, I didn't, become an icon agent, or I didn't, get enough, do enough recruiting or whatever, that you're saying, where's my stuff? And so then God says, okay, forget it. Because why? You're not focused on that. Hey, I love that, I was able to close that one deal. Just focus on that deal. And if you didn't close any deals, just pretend it in your mind. God doesn't know. The universe doesn't know. Your source doesn't know whether you're thinking about the past, the present, or the future. So why not think about the future and how bright it's going to be and how healthy you're going to be, how you're going to be looking younger every day. I love that. I say that to myself every day. I'm looking younger every day, and I'm feeling younger every day. And I love that. I'm not against, hey, I know that we all age, if you will, but, I'm just a youthful little boy running around. And with that type of attitude, well, that just gives me more health and more happiness, more fun, if you will. And so write down what your personal desire is. Might be to be healthier. Again, not lose weight. You just want to become healthier. And then slim and trim, that would be great, that you can be slim and trim. Improve your relationships, think positive thoughts, whatever the case may be. Okay, those are your personal and professional goals. You're going to be full of desires, and you're going to be focused on that for the next 6 weeks. Those things are going to start coming just by you writing them down. They're already on their way to you. And now I'm going to be a little bit more practical, and we're going to talk about referral partnerships. And again, I just have a few minutes, so I'm going to go through this. We'll go through it every time, but I call it the magic bullet. And basically, referrals are the easiest, no cost, the best way to build your business. Yet, we don't ask for referrals because, and why don't we get referrals? Because we don't ask for referrals. And we don't receive referrals because we think we're the only ones benefiting. The fact is that when you go with whatever service that you have, real estate agent, doTERRA, whatever it is, that when you go to a person and offer and say, hey, I want to share those services with someone else that you know. And who do you know? Not do you know anybody, but it's who do you know? That the fact is that what will happen is that you'll start helping not only the referral partner, because they'll build a better relationship with their friends and family and the people that they refer people to you. And I'm sharing with you that all of you have referrals that are sitting out there that are a gold mine for you, but you just haven't thought about them, but now you are. And so first of all, I want you to think about who's an ideal referral partner. And so they're well connected in the community, they're maybe previous clients, they're in my family, but I really want you to think right now, hey, who is that? Because I want you to identify some name, a person, a referral partner that you can have that is, a previous client, family member, loan officer, hairdresser, insurance agent, whatever. But there are people out there that are wanting to help you. And what you want to do is start inviting them into your experience. And you don't even have to call them or email them per se. Just start asking for who is that person. And God's going to give you those names. And you're going to contact them, and you're going to be amazed on all the business that they can give you. I've helped agents. And I know all of you, one of the poison pills that you can take is, oh, I know all about that already, except that, have you done it? And so I'm presenting it in a little bit different way. And so I want you to invite these referral partners into your experience out of the blue. Meet with your referral partner and basically do this. Ask for help. And again, we're recording this. You can review this. This will be sent to you so you can have it, all. But ask for help and then share your goals. So, hey, I have a goal. I was wondering if you could help me. Sure. How can I help you? Well, what I'd like to do is I'd like to help 3 families. And then ask, this month, and then ask why would they benefit, and so why would you benefit from that? And so, hey, and if they don't know when you ask, then say, what about, and ask them questions. What about, would you build stronger relationships with these people because they'd be giving me and my services because you are the best at what you do because you think you are the best. And so all you have to do is think you're the best, and then you are the best, and they'll think that you're the best and believe it, and then your referral partner will, and then share who your ideal client is. So, I'm looking for people that, are looking to buy or sell $300,000 homes, or looking for people that, want their families to be healthier and with, oils, or for insurance, or whatever the case be that, you want to really identify. And so I would write down, what's your definition of ideal client? Because if you don't have a definition of it, you just grab whoever you get. Be more green zone and live deliberately and intentionally to think about it, and then ask for a personal introduction. So don't get a name and a telephone number. Instead, I want you to reach out to them. They can do it via email, they can do it by phone, but reach out to them and say, hey, I know Susie, and she's just fabulous, and I know you were looking to buy a home, and so would you like me to connect you with Susie? And they say, sure. And what happens is you get out of selling, and instead you get into the service and really servicing them. No longer do you have to sell yourself because your referral partner already did. Okay? So big point here. Again, I'm moving through this, but that, for you to internalize this, and I would watch this several times to really be able to capture it. The mother of all creation, the first thing each morning, enter into the doorway where you create your life with the joy shop. So imagine yourself every morning. I want you to wake up. This takes about 15 minutes. I want you to wake up, and I want you to breathe deeply. And if you have to wake up 15 minutes early, great, do that. That it'll be worth it, because you're going to start having some peace in your life and within you. You're going to have more things come to you out of the blue. You're going to start allowing God to bring it to you. God does the how. And so basically, 15 minutes every day, you read the Joy Shop. So I sent you today the Joy Shop. And it starts out with, this is the best day of my life, the best month and the best year of my life. I know that this is the only moment I will ever have, and I am committed to making the most of this moment and all the moments that follow. I know that I have the power to feel good in this moment, and I go there now. God, my source, is always right here thinking with me. And then there's more good feeling thoughts, but it basically is a joy shop. And after that joy shop, you'll write down three things. You'll write down first what you desire. And so I want what? I want to feel good. That I want to build my business. I want to have $1 million business. I want to have better health. That I want to have, basically, I want to have a long, happy, healthy, wealthy, prosperous life, right? And so, but you have to ask for those things. Like, how long has it been since you asked for those things? Normally, when we're asking, we're on the wrong side of the equation. We're saying, I want more money, and you're thinking and feeling, I don't have enough money. And what will happen is you'll end up getting more, not enough money. And so that's why you have to think about, if you want what you want, what you desire, is to think about the other side of it. That, hey, I know that there's plenty of money. That God is plentiful, God is abundant, and so thus I am abundant. I'm made in the image and likeness of God, so thus I am abundant. There's abundance all over me. There's an abundance of air. There's abundance of travel, of sky, of sunshine, of rain, of water. I mean, there's so much abundance, and that there can be abundance. There were no billionaires 40 years ago. Now there's, I think now 700 billionaires. Where do they come from? Where does the money? Do we import it from some other planet? No. What they did is they asked that whatever you ask for, God makes more of, doesn't take away from anybody. And so don't think, oh, well, I don't want money because, and the reason why we think that, we think it takes away from somebody. It doesn't take away from anybody. That when you ask for something, it expands and you get more of it. And that's why there's all these billionaires. So you write down what you desire and then write down what you appreciate. And you can start the first few days just appreciating your entire life. You being born. You look for happy things that happen every 5 years of your life. No matter how your life was, you'll be able to find something happy. Write a new story about you. And then, but eventually you just go into appreciating. This will change your mindset. You start appreciating the last 24 hours. And you start looking for the good, for the wanted, for the things that you like, the things that you love, for the things that make your heart sing. And what will happen is as you appreciate that literally the skies open up, the heavens part, and more of the things that you want, and especially when you're talking about whatever you appreciate, the more of that you stand in appreciation, the more will flow to you. You'll be in a pure state of allowing. And then finally, prepave your day. And so you say, hey, my travels are going to be smooth, easy, and safe, and even fun. That the meeting that I have today is going to just be fantastic. We're going to laugh. We're going to enjoy each other. Don't get into the detail and do God's work in the how. Don't say, oh, they're going to sign the deal for, $350,000. Lighten up on all this. That, say, you know what, that we're going to just have a great time. We're going to laugh. We're going to smile. We're going to enjoy each other. We're going to feel great. And that everything's going to play out just great. Get rid of the word work, too. Start using play. That everything's going to play out just fantastic. So, and then prepave your day, that I'm going to attract healthy and nutritious and delicious meals every day, that I'm going to have wonderful times and moments, precious, loving moments with my loved ones. And I'm going to hug people. I'm going to be kind to people. I'm going to be open up. I'm going to be, and again, you don't want to say I'm going to be guarded, but I'm going to be open. I'm going to have my heart open to everybody. And when you do, you'll see, that's right, nobody can stab a knife in your heart, okay? That you were just brought up to think that that's how it is, and you were never taught, and this is how to be able to create what you want. So your success steps. First, listen to success. So there's not much you have to do. That listen to Success Unit 1 at least 6 times. So I'm going to send you an MP3, and you're going to have that MP3 that I want you to listen to 6 times. And just continue to listen to it 6 times, and you'll see it'll start changing your life. If you can, put it in your car. If you have kids around you, and have them, because they'll be listening to it, and they'll be because they are way more responsive to it, and they just allow it in. They don't have any of these other beliefs, that resistant beliefs there. So listen to Success Unit 1 at least 6 times. Identify your high payoff activities, and so that'll be in that Success Unit. It'll talk about high payoff activities. What are the most important activities you have? 3 to 6 activities for your job and for your personal life. So get focused on what those are, and then stay focused. Remember, I shared with you that, this group that I'm with invested $100,000 on a guy, that you're getting this $100,000. You're getting this right now. This is how to make it play for you, to have life play for you, and for you to have all your dreams come true. Meet with at least one referral partner this week. And so each week, so do this week and the next week, and let me know how it goes. Email me and let me know, hey, I met with this referral partner. We had an amazing time. They do have referrals. Go to your hairdresser. There are people there that I've been coaching. This one agent, that multi-million-dollar agent now, and every time I coach with him, I say, okay, let's talk about referral partners. And all of a sudden, he'll go, oh my God, I forgot about this one guy. And so there are all these referral partners. It's free, it's friendly, it's kind, it's nice, it's helping other people, it's enjoyable, it's fun, and that's what you want to do. And then create your life each day in your joy shop. And so that's it. Those are the only 4 things that I'm going to ask you to do, and it's going to change your life, okay? I want you to just enjoy this joy shop. So expect wonderful things to happen to you. Expect out of the blue thoughts, people, and circumstances that lead you to your desires. The most important thing every day is that I want you to feel good and only think upon thoughts that please you, that you like, that you want in your life, that you love. And the more that you do, the more focus that you have on that, I guarantee you that, again, I'm here not to tell you what you want. I am here to help you to be able to discover how to get what you want in an easy, fun manner. Most of us have been swimming upstream, and you're sick and tired. You're tired of going upstream and, paddling up, and none of your desires are there. And so all you need to do is let go, release, do those 4 steps I asked, do that joy shop in the morning and go downstream. And as you go downstream, that's where all of your desires are. And you'll find that you're just floating there, picking along the low-hanging fruit that's there to help you make your heart sing. And so with that, expect your life to start becoming better and better, and it is starting now. I love you guys. Fantastic session. We'll meet in 2 weeks. I'll give you a reminder. It's always the same link on this, and I thank you so much, and I'll send you the recording as well, and know that everything that you dreamed of is coming your way now. Love you. Bye-bye.